Like let's start with music. So with music, it's been going very well, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
there's been a lot of. How many years you'd say you had to work before you started seeing things picking up?
Oh, just past year, really. It's been 4 years destroying beliefs that has been put in my brain.
So there was a 4 years of therapy of you going, I can actually do this.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
A fun fact that I've skipped, I was in Portugal Idol. You know,
Well, that's a little snippet of information, just like glossed over. Portugal
yeah,
Idol, yeah.
yeah, back in 2009.
Okay.
And I was booed out of the stage.
What were you doing?
I was singing.
Right.
And yeah,
They
since
booed
then.
you off. The pricks.
I know. I still need to find that video. If someone finds that video, please send me. But the way that everything happened, I was in a restaurant that was full, and my grandma was like, "Is that not you?" And there was this thing that singing is not screaming, and everyone just looked at me and obviously started laughing because there was like a sketch of people that clearly couldn't sing. So those 4 years was really to destroy everything that anybody said to me.
Well, hang on. Singing is not screaming. Have they heard of heavy metal? Have they heard of like, Chester Bennington? I know.
Today I know they knew nothing,
Right.
but that's today.
But that's interesting. I mean, yeah, not a lot of people have the experience. If I went on a talent show and they told me I was shit, most of us go. Most of us go to like different prestigious schools, and they're like, yeah, we don't recommend it. I mean, Gary Oldman was advised to not pursue acting by his whatever tutor he was auditioning in front of. And look at him now.
I admire the audacity of these people telling somebody else saying that you're not good enough. Wow.
No, because some people, this is something called the fixed mindset, the growth mindset, which is a whole book, which I love. But the idea is that some people have this notion of like you either have the talent or you don't. Or like my mom, I had this argument with my mom. Love you, mom. But it was like, I was reading this article and this guitar player was saying that they can tell in 5 minutes about a pupil if they have talent or not. And I'm like, no, you can tell in 5 minutes. Yeah, I'm like, okay, you can tell in 5 minutes if you know how to teach this kid or not. You can't tell if they have, like, you don't know what this kid is gonna do if they keep practicing.
Exactly.
Like the bigger question is how many years you're willing to sacrifice to get good.
Exactly. How much you can put of yourself into.
Yeah.
Aye.
Like, how much are you willing to do for this? That's the question. Not in 5 minutes they're not that great. The fuck you know?
No, that's just people putting their own insecurity. I don't know.
That's just some people. If that's how they live, like you have to keep like. We had a register. Like the students. Had the registry book, right? I'm not sure if that was the same.
There
place.
was a thing in Portugal.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
Back home as well, and we had one. Somebody in my family had one from literally from 1900, like the year 1900.
Wow.
And in the registry, there were basically notes next to the pupils' names from the teacher or the head teacher of their class about what they thought of each student.
Observations.
Yes. And one of the observations, I just remember this vividly, was like, he's an idiot incapable of learning. And that was like, keep in mind, like, that's 120 years ago, 22 years ago.
Different mentality.
But that's the kind of, culture that some of these people grew up in. Or maybe it wasn't as harsh, but that kind of, especially in the music world, it's very perfectionist and let's
you
go.
got it or you don't.
Yeah, it's not like keep practicing, you'll get there. It's like, no, fuck off. We've all seen Whiplash. Like, I've had this conversation with a bunch of people. It can be very like that, rigid.
It is. And it wasn't until I joined the singing academy when I'm studying just now they just kind of destroyed those beliefs and really made me believe that I had something different, obviously, and that could be something.
It could be unique. It could be yours.
And it is.
And as long as it's honest, it could resonate with so many people.
And it does. So that's why I'm living my happy days now for the past few years. But yeah, those 3 years was really just destroying the past.
Yeah, listen, it can take a long time to, overcome some beliefs that are fucking your life up. Even like when you're actively trying to overcome them, you have so many reasons And then, and another one comes up and your brain gives you all the reasons you told yourself. It's like, yeah, but what about this? But it's not worth doing. But you're going to waste all this time. You're going to do this. You're going to be on the streets. It's like, no, I'm not. Calm down. But yeah, that's...
It's an everyday fight. If you really want it, you'll get it.
Yeah. Yeah, it just you
the way
have
I
to be
see it.
willing to shape yourself mentally as well as physically sometimes.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No, because like with music, there's a certain level of physical fitness that's required. I mean, just vocally and just the. I'm not saying you have to be buff and shredded. I'm saying just the whole vocal.
In and out.
Yeah.
Yes. The arts world.
Like
is
there's
demanding.
breathing and stuff you have to do. Like musicians know this. There's a reason you regularly do like a warm up and a whatever.
Yep. Or you can't achieve your best.
Yeah. There's a reason musicians go around going. Ha, 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 ha.
I'm not gonna do that. Yeah.
All right. Okay. So that's so the music. Once you've figured out your own baggage
Mm-hmm.
and unpacked it and took it apart and
Select the
massaged it back
best.
together.
I like the way you did it. Yeah.
It took off.
Yes.
But that we're talking about 4 years of just working on yourself. That's
Behind-
the 4 years of loneliness behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes, literally, yeah.
Yeah, no, because a lot of people, like I'm learning this now and I'm learning to be okay with it as well. But like the careers in arts come in phases. And there's the phase where nobody gives a fuck. And
Nobody
it's just
cares.
you working very hard for very little reward.
Yeah.
And then after there's going to be a bit more reward, but still not as much as you'd maybe like, maybe that you deserve, that you maybe, the enough reward that you can say, okay, I can breathe out a little
Breathe
bit.
now. That's my phase now. That I literally can see the work getting a shape.
Right.
The things that I've been working on is finally getting out, and there is no better place. Like that's all I could have asked for.
Nice. And then obviously like not even final stage, because it's not like cancer where there's like final stage, terminal
That's quite
stage, but like
dramatic.
the next stage where you get to you can get a bit comfortable, and that okay, as long as I do this regularly and I keep this consistency going and I keep trying, I can be comfortable now.
Yes.
Not fully relaxed or anything, but
The hustle continues.
yeah, it never ends. Like Jay-Z's still working and 50 Cent's still creating TV series left and right and doing whatever, and The Rock's got his Terramana. The
That's the
tequila.
tequila.
Yeah.
There you go.
Have
I've
you
learned
tried it?
something today. No.
No, I would like
I don't
to try it.
drink. Sorry.
Oh.
Yeah. I
Oh,
know.
well done you.
Thank you.
Well done you. But yeah, so it never ends, but at least it gets to that phase where, it's like, I don't have to panic about paying the bills.
Yeah.